Welcome back. I'm so excited to introduce a new series concept I had for y'all with food, with playing in the kitchen. I've come to realize that what y'all really want are easy, simple, obtainable recipes that you can make really quick on a weeknight, but that are healthy. What I really love to do is make things beautiful, play with food, plate things in an artistic way, host people, and try to impress them. So we're combining all of that into this new series called Easy and Elevated. And in this series, I'm gonna take one recipe concept and I'm gonna show it to you in two ways. One easy way, quick weeknight dinner kind of way, if you're just trying to get something healthy done as quickly as possible, but then taking that same concept of a recipe and doing it much more elevated. So today, in Easy and Elevated, I'm gonna be making something my mom would make a lot, chicken verde enchiladas with a ton of hidden protein. I'm gonna pack in a lot of hidden protein into this one. So, let's start with the easy, and then let's end with the elevated. So first, we're going to be sneaking in some cottage cheese into this recipe. This is so much protein. This one container right here has, quick math, 48 grams of protein. Next, we're going to be sneaking in some bone broth. I like these packets of bone broth because you can literally mix it into whatever you're making, and a single one of these packets has an additional 10 grams of protein. You could throw a couple of these. The third thing, there was a mistake with my grocery delivery this morning. These are supposed to be almond flour tortillas. I guess my store was out of them, so I have cassava flour tortillas. But if you're able to find almond flour tortillas, incredible, more protein there. Otherwise, you can use corn, flour, cassava, whatever you want. And then we are going to be sneaking some kale. By no means is any of this like authentic or traditional. This is very much like, let's try to pack as many hidden ingredients as we can. But verde, green, let's hide some greens. And then ways to make this easier is we're just gonna go ahead and buy things already made. We're gonna buy salsa verde and use this to make our own sort of like enchilada sauce. And we're using a chicken that's already been cooked for us, just a rotisserie chicken. Hot tip, if you go to Costco, did you know Costco's marketing strategy is they sell rotisserie chickens at cost. They don't profit a penny off of them. They put them in the back of the store so that you have to walk through and you hopefully make some impulse buys. But if you have a Costco membership, it's the cheapest rotisserie chicken you can find. But I got this one from Sprouts because it was closer. So first things first, we're gonna start working on our filling here. I am going to blend a ton of things together. I have 2 cans of salsa verde. One of them I'm going to use to blend into this kind of filling sauce we're gonna make, and one I'm gonna use to pour on the bottom of the pan and top with. So in goes a full one of these. Also gonna add in a packet of this bone broth. This, you can add as many of these as you'd like. And you could also skip it all together. It's not essential by any means. I'm gonna go ahead and just add in all of this cottage cheese. This is a 16-ounce container. We might not need all of this filling, but if it's too much, you can set some aside and, make some more later in the week. And then to add a bit of tang, I'm gonna add probably about half of the 16-ounce container of sour cream. So let's say 8 ounces. I don't follow recipes. I eyeball everything I do. To loosen it up, I'm just gonna have broth on standby. I'm gonna add a splash, but we don't want this too loose, and these are all liquidy ingredients. I'm gonna just give this a blend and we'll taste. I just rinsed this kale. I'm gonna add in some kale into this sauce to give it more of a green color, but I also like to see kale, so I'm also gonna end up sauteing some of this to add into the filling as well. You always wanna take the stem out of kale. No one wants that, it's so fibrous. Ain't nobody want that. Wow, it's so beautiful. Look at that. It's a little bit herbaceous. You get a little bit of the salsa. It's creamy. It's so creamy, actually. And you get a bit of tartness from the sour cream. I think that's great. If you'd like, you could add in jalapenos. If you want really spicy, you could add in cilantro. If you want it more herbaceous, you can add in lime. If you want it even brighter. Great thing about cooking, there's no rules. Just cook your meat to the right temperature. That's all you gotta make sure to do. Baking, there's rules. That's why I don't like baking. The great thing is after this, it's literally just pretty much assemble and broil because all these ingredients are already cooked. So you just broil to melt all the cheese. That's kind of it. I'll be right back with some shredded chicken. You don't gotta watch this. It's a little unappetizing to watch. Now, if you wanted to saute up some kale to actually have pieces of it, then let's do it. If you don't want to, just blend it all up. But I'm just gonna go ahead and dice up half an onion. This is a massive onion. I'm not gonna really use this whole thing. Okay, our kale has been sauteed and seasoned, and now this is gonna be the easiest thing ever. We're just going to take our kale and onion, dump it into the chicken bowl, and build our little filling here. Let's start with like half this maybe. Let's see how this gets us. Then I have this bag of just 3 blended Mexican cheese. I'm gonna add half this bag into our filling and half this bag on top. And then all of this is cooked, like I said, so you can taste this for seasoning if you want it a little saltier. The only really salt I've added thus far, besides the chicken came seasoned, is just to the kale and onion mixture. So I bet I'll want more. Actually pretty good. I might not really need more. Okay. This is just real life. The square pans I have are either, I think, way too small or way too big. So I'm gonna use a little cake pan, a circular one, whatever. We'll make it fit, we'll make it work. We are going to just pour some of this salsa straight into the pan and use a spoon to kind of just spread that around the bottom of the pan. The only thing to consider here is keeping the seam side down, but we are going to just fill our little tortillas with this super high protein kale mixture. Nowhere near authentic, okay? Don't come for me. Roll that up and then plop that seam side down. And repeat. I'm gonna go ahead and put more of the salsa on top. Spread that around, make sure it's pretty covered. All of our cheese on top. Then we're just gonna broil this in the oven. I'm gonna check on it, keep an eye on it, and I'll let y'all know about how long it broils for, but also depends on the strength of your oven. Great, it's about 10 minutes. But now let's make it pretty in an easy way. Easy pretty, basically just like throw some things on top. This is what I mean by that. I'm gonna start by crumbling some fresh cotija on top. I feel like the more cheeses, the kind of nicer it looks. Then I'm gonna squeeze some lime. I think it always looks good to like throw the limes nearby so that people know, oh, there's lime. I'm gonna do some green onion, some jalapeno if you like heat, and cilantro. All in all, that took me about 30 minutes. Keep in mind, I was filming, so that, you know, some things took longer in that regard. I do want to note, if your filling mixture, like if the chicken and the kale and whatever is not already warm, you want to bake and then broil. Mine was kind of warm, so just broiling it was enough. But let's give this a little taste test before we move on to our elevated version. A little extra lime. My hope with this series too is to encourage people that you really don't need to follow a recipe. Everything can be customized depending on what you have, what you like, and like your nutritional goals and needs. So I'll write down what I did in the description, but take liberties with it, okay? Ooh. Honestly, full of flavor. Very well-rounded and so easy. Might have to start adding this into my actual rotation. Boom. Okay, we've done something practical. Now let's play. This is where my soul just gets so excited to play and experiment. The thrill of things maybe going wrong is so life-giving. Anyways, first things first, we're gonna marinate some chicken because we're gonna grill our own chicken. And we are also, while speaking about the grill, I think gonna try to make our own salsa verde situation. I got tomatillos, I got serranos, I got onion, I got garlic, I got all the things that I'm gonna just try to grill and blend. But I think I'm just gonna do a garlic and lime marinade for the chicken. So here's some garlic that I'm pressing. And I think I'm just gonna do, maybe a little bit of soy sauce to make it fun. By soy sauce, I mean tamari. Lime juice, olive oil, garlic, tamari, maybe some onion powder, and maybe some white pepper. Let's do that. And let's get those all together in a baggie and just let that sit for us to grill it. Okay, let's wing it. Story of my life. We got all the grilled tomatillos. They're still pretty hot. Let's start with one jalapeno and one serrano just to see how it goes. I'm gonna cut the stems off. I'm gonna do some white onion. It's about a quarter of one. Look at all this beautiful grilled garlic. Oh, it's like a little caramelized, a little smoky. Gonna do a half a lime to start, but I bet we'll do more. We're just playing. We're just winging. This is the fun part. Hefty amount of olive oil. Oh, I gotta get more olive oil. Dang, the amount of oil I go through. Well, that broke. Okay. A big chunk of cilantro. Will it blend? Something tells me probably not. Salt. Oh my gosh, it smells good. More white pepper. I don't know, I've been kind of on a white pepper kick lately. Did you know white pepper are just peppercorns where the skin is peeled off and then they grind it? Pray it's not too spicy. It's a little spicy. It's actually more limey than I was expecting. Put it in a deli cup and let it chill. The next thing I'm gonna do is make a quick pickle and pickle some red onions. I only ever did this once in class at the culinary school I was taking classes at. So I'm just gonna try to remember off the top of my head, but I'm gonna use red wine vinegar to make the red onions even more potent in color. Bring this up to a simmer, throw the onions in there, let them reduce down, add some seasoning. You can add sugar, but I kind of don't want to. Boom. There we go. A quick pickle red onion. Look at that color. Look at that vibrancy. I threw in some peppercorns. Gotta get those out, but just wanted to add a little something. The next thing I wanted to do was I wanted to make some sort of crema to drizzle over top to get like a pretty pattern. And first I was thinking cilantro crema, but now I'm realizing that's another green sauce. So I'm trying to think of what else I have. I could try to go mix cotija and garlic and do like a white crema. The thing I was gonna do, and this might be a sin, so I apologize in advance. In the spirit of trying to make things like lighter and healthier, I was gonna use Greek yogurt. I might just try a cotija garlic crema and we'll see how it tastes, but I want something I can put in a piping bag and like make really pretty kind of zigzags. So this will be experimental. A good chunk of cotija. Let's blend that and see how she goes. Oh, it just turned back on. Oh no, it's because it's wet. The taste is pretty good. It's still not very blended. It's actually not bad. Okay. Next on the list, just sauteed up more kale and onion like last time. And I'm about to go pop our chicken on the grill. Get that all grilled up. Just need a meat thermometer to temp it. All right, let's go cook that chicken. Look at that caramelization. I'm gonna let this cool down for a bit because it's hot to touch. But then we have to think through the plating because I have two ideas. One of them is very demure, very mindful. By the time this video comes out, is that going to be so 2 weeks ago? First thing I was thinking is almost do this like lasagna style, maybe even with a smaller one, and do like a layer of a flat tortilla, filling, cheese, whatever, flat tortilla, filling, cheese, whatever, kind of like a lasagna. I just feel like that would only work better if it was more like tostada style. But now I'm wondering if we just made tiny little enchiladas, like about this big, and did like 1, 2, 3 next to each other. Just tiny little baby fine dining enchiladas. And you know, plate them beautifully. I just recently got a new immersion blender and I found some black beans. I'm whipping up a quick little refried bean situation. Wow, this immersion blender was a great $15 spent. Add in some of our cheese blend. The thick cut of this cheese is not giving very elevated. I'm gonna have to consider that for the topping. But for the inside filling, it's all gonna melt together. I'm gonna take a spoon of our house-made salsa verde, spoon that along the bottom. And then you know the drill. Let's fill. Look at the way 3 fit in there perfectly. Okay, got this out of the oven. It's looking pretty good. Also, I mixed ghee into the refried beans, and ghee and beans. I have to start doing that more. But let's play with plating, my favorite thing to do ever. And let's see what sorts of beautiful things we can maybe create. Big spoon for beans. You kind of can't see the fact that this is 3 tiny ones. I mean, from the side you can, from the front not as much. Officially hot in here. Well, okay. I definitely pictured it looking a little bit different in my head. Visually, this one was a lot more effort, and I really don't know if it's that much more beautiful. But I'm excited to try taste because there is quite a bit different in here. We have the homemade salsa, we have the marinated chicken on the grill, we have the char and all the vegetables, we have the fatty, earthy refried beans, we have the crema on top that we made, we have the house-made pickled onions. We got a lot different. So let's see how big of a difference the taste makes and if it's worth the effort and extra expense because more ingredients were required for this. Wow. Okay. Taste-wise, I do prefer this. I feel like there's just a more depth of flavor going on, probably because I know everything that went into it, so I appreciate it more. But for the amount of time and effort, I really don't know. Honestly, on a normal weeknight, I would probably go for the easy version. It is now about 4 hours after I started filming. The first recipe took me about 30 minutes and then clean up. So that means the second recipe probably took me about 3 hours once all said and done to do all the different parts and clean up. But I always love getting to play and experiment and plate and try to like make elements of it from scratch by myself. Thanks for clicking on this video. It was a fun experiment. If there is another recipe, general easy weeknight staple that you want me to try to elevate nutritionally and then elevate plating wise, comment it down below. I love you. I hope you have the best rest of your day and I will see you in a video very soon.